There is a stigma about physics that it's extremely difficult, confusing, and torturous. I'm here to break it away and make you all realize that you are as brilliant physicist as there can be one. But before I tell you how, let's talk about physics. So when I say word physics, what's the picture that enters your mind? Maybe this one, this, and most probably this one. Confusion. But when you see physics from my perspective, you will see this, and this. Now that you have seen my perspective, you will notice that the last image in both of them are same. But again, there is a difference, and difference is of the perspective. From your perspective, this is a confusion, but from my perspective, this is a question. That is, why? Why this matters will be explained shortly, but before, let's talk about science. Science majorly is composed of physics, chemistry, and biology. And according to the polls that we have conducted earlier, only 10% of students in this class like physics. I'm going to tell you that this poll is biased, and the reason behind is the fear of physics. And I will tell you so why. But before, let's go out to space like this. There's a cluster of galaxies, stars, planets. Let's find a spot which is less clustered, like this one. Even still, it consists of stars and planets. Let's find a spot that is completely empty. Now, in this completely blank spot of nothingness, there is no chemical process or neither a biological process going on, but there is definitely physics linked to it. It might be as bizarre as the suspected dark matter or as simple as gravitational fields. Now, even though physics is omnipresent, why still least favorite? Because people think that it's not easy to understand, and that is the reason of fear. People picture physics as this. Believe me, even though this is the face of physics, it's still not a real one. Physics is an experience that we have gone through as a result of our surroundings. Physics is not something that you will find in fancy laboratories, but something that you can experience at your home. Let's take an example. You take an hair dryer, turn it on, and put a ping pong ball over it. You will see that the ping pong ball floats. This is the result of Bernoulli's principle, the principle that is behind the flight of airplanes. Let's take another example. Stand on a skateboard and hold something heavy. Now push that away from you, and you will see that your motion will be backwards from the motion that you have given to the object. Now, this is due to the result of principle of conservation of momentum, and this is the principle that is behind the steering of spaceships in the space. We all have been playing with physics ever since we were kids. It has been present in all of our toys. It's just an outcome of our surroundings. Let's take an example, a big one. What about Sir Albert Einstein? In June 1905, which is termed as the miracle year, Einstein published his paper on the electrodynamics of moving bodies, which is also known as Theory of Special Relativity. It was his surroundings that led him to one of his greatest discoveries ever. But before we talk about his surroundings, we have to learn about the special theory of relativity. So let's pique our interest in the subject. Let's take an experiment like this one. This consists of a moving cart with target on both sides and a shooter in the middle. The shooter shoots the ball in both directions, and due to the motion of the cart, the forward moving ball in the direction of the cart will move faster than the backward moving ball. But the thing is, due to the motion of the cart, they both will hit the target simultaneously. This is a basic example that you can try out on your own. Now let's change the shooter with laser pointer and let the card move near the speed of light. As the card reaches the speed of light, there will be some complications in the given situation, even though for the driver the situation will remain the same and the light will reach the targets at the same time. But for the observer on the road, the light will hit the left target first and would still not reach the right target. Now, isn't that bizarre? Let's put clock on the both targets, which will stop when the light hits both of them. The thing will be that the left clock will stop earlier than the right clock. But the thing is, the right clock will move more slowly than the left clock to match the time the light hits the target. You see, now for those who understood what I said would be wondering why. Now this is the why I was talking about earlier. Einstein got this idea because of his surroundings. At the time he worked on this idea, he was in the era in which railways were progressing, and also he was working in a patent office. People were looking at the ways of synchronizing clocks, and with working with that, due to the influence of his surroundings, he actually reached the special theory of relativity. Don't worry if you didn't understand a thing I said. The thing I'm saying is that physics is all around us. You just need the why perspective. Why this is happening? Why is this obeying this certain law? And physics will follow. You are already a physicist who knows the result to every experiment there is. Just what you need to do is to know why the result is so. Be interested in physics, look all around yourself, and you will not believe how the nature teaches us how important physics is and how much it surrounds us.